Do you ever feel like theater?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like showbiz, baby?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like a 5, 6, 7, 8?
I was about to do Chicago, Chicago, yes. The toddling town, they do things that daddy can do. I'm not only beautiful, I'm humble. Phoebe.
And I'm Jacques.
And welcome to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Where we ask the questions everyone's thinking and no one's answering.
Everyone always laughs when I say I'm beautiful.
That's not why
people always like,
okay.
No, I'm not saying you.
Well, does anyone like when I hear anyone say that, it's fucked. It's like any woman saying that is a joke.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, no.
Really?
I would really argue no. I mean, you're not supposed to say it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say I'm like hot. But when I say like, oh yeah, I look good, people are like, I'm like, what? Because I think it's when you're like a funny gal.
Oh.
You know, it's like the 30 Rock, you know, like the comedian with the rubber chicken photo shoot. Like you can't, every time they do a photo shoot, like they always hand Liz Lemon like a rubber chicken. Like you can't, if you're funny, you like always have to be funny. Like, oh my God, stop. You're so funny.
Oh, okay. So you don't see it as people just being uncomfortable with the fact that anyone is complimenting themselves.
No. They're laughing at me.
Okay.
I did a photo shoot once that like somebody hired me to do. They were like, Phoebe, we want to take pictures with clothes on your body. And like the entire time they were just staying there like, stop. You're so funny. And I was like, I am literally being so serious right now. Like I'm being cute. And they're like, oh my God, stop. Don't do that.
This is literally what you do to me when you put a camera in front of my face. The thing that you're describing is what you do. I try to do something. You're like, I'm going to film you. I do something and you immediately go, don't do that. That's the first
Yeah, but that's
thing
different. That's different. I'm not saying that because you're being bad at it. And also, the first thing that you do whenever I put the camera on you, it goes, oh my God, I can't believe you're filming me right now. Like you become like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. All of a sudden, you're like, stop it.
I don't know why that is, because it's literally you. Sorry, we're just doing therapy right now. We're doing therapy. It's literally just you. Anybody else does that to me, and I'm like, you do that to me, and I'm like, go away.
And then, oh my God, this is one of my favorites, actually. There's this, like, one of my fears in life is, like, posting a video where, like, the sound is supposed to be off, but, like, forgetting to turn the sound off.
Oh, yeah.
There's, like, this really cute video I have of you. It looks really nice, where you're, like, doing your makeup in the mirror. Like, you look really cute, and you're, like, bitching about, like, how you look, where we're supposed to go, like, what we're doing. Like, it's foul. And, like, one of my fears is that I'm just gonna post it and be like, oops.
I mean, honestly.
Anyway.
Slay. Mm-hmm. Like, go ahead. That's, like, whatever.
It's just so funny. Like, you look really cute and, like, pretty, and you're just like, I fucking hate this. Ay.
That's
if the
really
people
funny.
Only knew.
Okay, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, people laugh at you a lot and it annoys me. Mm-hmm. I like don't really understand it.
Anyway,
I mean, I do.
Oh, she's a hee hee ha ha girl.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
You have cute. All of the leeway to like. You have all of the like, you know, just to like blow up a building because everyone's gonna be like, oh, Phoebe's just kidding. Like you could be so serious.
Just bomb strapped me.
Ready?
Everyone's like, you know what? You are so correct.
I know.
You're so
and that
correct.
is why you are actually a dangerous person.
Hee hee ha ha girl.
Exactly. hee hee ha ha girls. No, don't fuck with them. Nope. No.
Don't fuck with your life. Yeah, I
So
mean,
funny.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, like I remember, like even just like guys, like dating guys.
Ew. Yeah, no.
Anyway, whatever. Which
It's men.
Anyway,
okay. Men need to shut up. Like, literally, I
actually
hate
yeah.
when men laugh at women. I hate when I hate, especially if it's like no, even if you think they're funny. Like, shut up.
Shut up. Well, it's funny you say that because there's like a couple of like open mics I've been trying to go to, and I've been like looking for like basically the not white men,
Right.
like just no men, please.
Yeah.
And the only people that go to those shows are women too, which I'm like, great, you know.
Yeah.
That actually brings me to a thought I've been having recently. I think gatherings of men needs to be banned, and we need to do permit only men gathering. Because I saw some men in the park the other day, and I was like, I don't like that. What are you doing? What do you need to be doing together?
Yeah.
On a Saturday afternoon? That feels dangerous to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think
All gathering of men,
we need
4 people and over.
we need like
need to be a permit application, 5 to 10 business days.
right.
Can be rejected for whatever reason.
I think we need a little bit of a warning. I think also arguably the people attending that need a little bit of conscious gathering. Right? The men at the event also need what's happening here? What are the rules? What are the boundaries?
Yeah.
What are the, you know what I mean? What is going on? Like, which would come with that process.
Do you know what you've just signed up for?
Yes.
That's something that people, not to talk, well, whatever. This is our hee hee ha ha episode, and I'm like, oh, great. We're not even 10 minutes, and I'm going to talk about politics. We just had an election here in Canada provincially, so it was the BC election, and people thought that they were voting the Prime Minister out.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to need you to have, do you know what you're doing?
No.
Do you know where you are?
No.
And if you don't, I'm happy to educate. Like, here's some just real basic stuff.
Right.
That's not, so I just think we need to, do you know where you are?
Yeah. Do you know what's going on?
Do you know what's going on? Do you know what you've just signed up for?
Yeah. That is a big question over here in the
So anyway,
US election of it all as well.
How do I change my vote on November 9th?
Unreal.
Anyway.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, speaking of the current situation, it's like hard. It's like very hard right now, right? It's like, okay, I have something to say that I think is a bit controversial.
Hey, I already said no more groupings of men, so why not just keep adding on to the Singapore rules?
I don't think that shock, we know this to be true. Shock, like drama. What's another word for this? Like
just like, what's it when it's
porn? Like, I don't know what thing, like
heightened feelings of anxiety.
Yeah, like,
you know, the big things
is not
the big feelings
motivating, and is not sustainable. And so, like, feel your shock, do what you need to do, but then, like, grow up and keep it moving, because like it's not doing anything to stay in that space. The people that I know and I surround, like, if you look around in the world, the people who have been doing activism or organizing work or community work or whatever that looks like, they're keeping it the fuck moving. Like, they're not sharing the same fucking clip about so-and-so being, you know, potentially serving in this seat or whatever the thing, right? Like, they're keeping it moving because, like, they have done the work of being centered around the point and, like, their values and all of that kind of stuff, right? And part of me wants to say to the people that are just have come into the party, like, do what you need to do so that you can, like, stay at the party as long as you can, because, like, the shock and awe thing is going to dissipate, right? It's like, it's going to, it's not the thing that's gonna, it's not gonna keep energizing you.
It's not real.
Motivating you. It's not real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you're having, like, a fight, flight, or freeze response. Like, that's what's happening to you. Like, and so it's just kind of like, how are you gonna stay engaged? It is not through your fucking phone. It's not through sharing fucking shit. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with any kind of, like, insecurity I ever have, I always ask, like, who is profiting off of that thing. And like, especially when it comes to our phones, like, oh my God, like, elections are so good for views. Yeah. Right? Time on phone, time in front of advertising. So anyway.
Well, this is the thing. And I think, like, again, right, it's like the America of it all, because, like, I've been having conversations with people and saying, like, you know, what you've shared with me, for example, is like, when I send you a New York Times piece and you can't read it because like Canada's like, no, not on the social algorithm. Can you have this or whatever? Like, people are shocked by that. Like, shocked by it. People are like, wait, what? Because I think a lot of Americans go to social media for their news. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Anyways.
It's funny that you actually say that, because I was watching I Used to Be Funny. Have you seen that movie yet with Rachel Sennett?
Oh my God, I haven't, but I've heard it's really good, and I can't wait to watch it.
It's okay. I liked it. It was one of those things where, whatever, unofficial movie review, it was one of those things where everyone was like, oh my God, it's so good. But I was like, I liked it plenty. Like, I thought the writing was good. It needed an edit. The cinematography was going a bit cray.
Robots.
I don't know. I think it was, this maybe sounds a bit rude or mean, like somebody who just needs, like, a little bit more of a polish, you know?
Oh, I hate that. I hate when, like, the choice is messy.
It just literally just needed to be an edit.
Yeah, I hate that.
It could have. I feel like this way with a lot of movies recently. Like, just give me, like, 6 hours in Premiere, you know? Like, you're almost there. Whatever. Anyway, but I thought it was really interesting because it's a Canadian director and writer. Rachel Sennett is not Canadian, but loves to hang out with a bunch of Canadians, which I do think is funny. She's, like, bopping around Toronto all the time. Actually, fun fact, when you do watch it, you'll recognize the variety store that's literally around the corner from my house. We were watching it, we're like, oh.
Hamilton.
But,
yep.
I know. Yeah, it's, you know, New York. Like, we'll be walking down the street and we're like, oh,
New York.
It's New York in this movie. Like, all of a sudden. Anyway. But anyway, so the movie's supposed to take place in Toronto. Like, there's, like, opening shots of the CN Tower. I don't know whose fucking choice this was. And this is what I'm saying to you all the time about, like, American imperialism in media in particular. Yeah. She says things that, like, you would not say in, like, Canadian, like, we don't have here. So she'll say, like, when I was a junior in high school. We don't say that. We say grade numbers.
And she's supposed to be Canadian?
She's supposed to be Canadian. The character's supposed to be Canadian. There was, like, so many moments like that where I was just like, well, even just, and then this is, like, really basic, but it kind of irritates me if you're going to, like, profit off of, like, like, people shoot in Canada a lot because you get a lot of tax breaks. And it's cheaper. They're filming outside my house literally right now.
Every time I visited you, there's some
Yeah,
film
it's
crew
just always film
somewhere
here.
at some
I am
point.
so not romanced by the film industry,
Literally at all. Honestly,
Toronto.
the fact that you
Yeah.
are not an extra in
Oh.
literally everything,
But, like,
the
that's-
fact that we don't see
yeah.
Phoebe in all
just
of these television episodes and films that are filmed in Canada is very funny.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Absolutely. But anyway, there's just like a ton of, I was going to say like the pronunciation of Toronto. They were saying hard T's, which I just thought was like so funny. Toronto.
No.
I was just like, like, it's such an easy thing to make it sound.
Dramaturg.
And then they were saying, I don't
Dramaturgy.
even know how.
Where are you?
I don't even know how Americans say. So I would say Montreal. Montreal. Yeah. Like, it's just really basic shit like that. And then there's like a couple of other moments like that. And then like even just referring to the city, I was like, it's little, but I don't know. To me, it just, it's not even like you need to get, it's like wrong or bad.
Right.
It just demonstrates like how intense American imperialism is that I'm like constantly saying to you all the time.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
You're always reminding me of that.
It's a good watch. I mean, she's great. I think Rachel Sennett's great. I just felt like I needed an edit. On that.
Yeah. I think Rachel Sennett is really good, which is what I was interested in watching it. Like, apparently she's quite good in it. I think that the premise is really funny.
The premise is really funny. I don't like, this is like a little skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to hear about either spoilers / sexual abuse stuff, but the entire time they're implying like sexual assault, and then they at the very end, like the last act, they actually play out the scene, and I just kind of felt like you lose all of the stuff that you were playing with, like all of the intelligence stuff, and I don't like that as a viewer. Like, it makes me like beyond uncomfortable, like, and people don't like it, you know. Anyway, so spoilies, sorry.
I mean, whatever. I do think that kind of an observation of like, I don't know, like because we have conversations with artists all the time, right? And it's like, I don't know, like I don't know, whatever, capitalism, like extracting like art and person, blah, 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 blah. I just thought that was interesting. Like, oh shit, something happens to you and like you might not 100%. Be able to be the same artist. And like,
oh my God, I mean,
hello, we're humans in skin sex. Like, can we, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know we literally say this all day. And also I've been dealing with like a lot of like family stuff lately, and I haven't been writing, and I feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
About it. And it's like, because 5 o'clock comes and I need to be on my couch, you know?
Exactly.
And so
context, like what is happening? Yeah, exactly. That I think is kind of an interesting thing, even though I feel like these themes, I wish like who's watching that movie? Other artists. That movie's not being shown to like, you know, the mass, which is like what I wish would happen. But anyways, yeah.
Me too. Anyway, but I do actually feel like that's kind of a good segue for today.
Yeah.
It's a basic one.
Very basic.
Do you ever feel like theater?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like showbiz, baby?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like a 5, 6, 7, 8?
I was about to do Chicago, Chicago, the toddling town, they do things that they can do. I could go on.
Yeah, I do. I yes.
Because it's all theater.
Here's the thing. We say this all the time. Everything is art. Everything is theater. Every single thing is theater.
Theater.
I want to.
You gotta put a little jazz on it when you say.
Oh yeah. You got to. Also, REER, the ultimate debate. Not for you.
Oh,
but for us, American
Why?
Imperialism.
No, I mean, unfortunately, the British. I mean, don't even fucking get me started with you people.
I know this is okay. you act as if we are not performing in this moment right now, and that I didn't just set you up to go on that rant. I threw you like a yes.
Do you want it? Why you throw it? Why are we doing through the crazy way? Huh? Where's the rest of the letters?
Oh, yeah.
You're missing more than half of them.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
The amount of times that Phoebe and I are writing copy and Phoebe's like,
I know.
You don't know how to spell. It's so great.
Well, but it's something funny I have to check myself on, because if we're writing something for an American
client,
yeah,
you have to be like, yeah.
I have to turn off my...
Like, that's not how you spell color.
Yeah, and then be like, if you want to say the word right, it is, but okay.
Classless.
I mean, America's so funny that they're like, no, we're different, actually. Daddy?
We're just like literally infants. Anyways, whatever. Okay, theater.
So accidental theme of this episode, American imperialism. Hey, Jacqueline, let's do a hee ha ha episode, and we're gonna get so fucking crazy about it.
Oh my God. Okay, everything is theater. I came prepared, and by prepared I mean we decided we were gonna do this episode.
That breaks one of my rules of showbiz. Don't tell the audience.
Don't tell the audience the ingredients.
One, how the sausage is made. Two, that it's a bad show. You never say it's a bad show.
No.
Take those away with you. I'm not saying that this is a bad show, but those are my two rules.
I hear you. Okay, great.
Even if it's going horribly.
Rules of theater.
You're like, this is fine.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, well, I came prepared for...
Okay, hit me.
Things that we don't think are theater, but are theater.
Oh. Parking. Walking down the street.
Parking lots. Theater.
Taking your dog outside. Doctor's offices.
Okay. Theater spaces, maybe is what we should say more specifically.
Theater
spaces that we don't think are theater, but are theater. Mm-hmm. The airport.
Oh. Do you know it's called security performance?
Yeah.
Performance security? Something like that.
Security.
It's called...
Yes.
It's called that.
The airport.
The gloves.
If you want to talk about
costumes.
Theater, costumes. Storytelling. Characters. Like...
Character development. Yeah.
Dialogue. Like, there is so much...
what's it called? Where you, like, turn... Like, you have, like, there's, like, a turning point. What's that called?
The climax?
Like, you're like, why me? No, like, you're like, why me, mom? Like, your villain origin story. Like, that's happening at security for me every day.
Yes.
Like, take your hoodie off. What are you fucking doing taking your hoodie off?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like the security line is the ultimate test of my acting skills. Even if I know that I have not, like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not about to be pulled aside to be like, you've got like a thing in here. I become like someone who's got something to hide. Like, I have a secret.
Have I ever told you this story? My dad has like a name like John Smith. Like, my dad's got like the plainest man's name ever. And he's Australian, so he has an Australian passport. And there was a period of time, and he travels a lot for work. There was a period of time where he was pulled over a ton, like shuffled off to the side, taken into other rooms at the airport, like at the Canadian border or at the American border, like in his car, like pulled over. So he gets, because there was a man with his same name, who's an Australian passport, who was like wanted for a bunch of like drug trafficking charges, and so his name was flagged, and he'd have to go, and he would get grilled all the time. So my dad is so stressed about going over the border, and when we would go into the States when I was a kid, he'd be like, shut up, like, don't talk in the car, and my brother and I would be like, oh, what are they, can they listen? He's like, yes, they can. Like, he gets so stressed, so it's like he can't even keep it together.
No, totally. Totally. Yeah, I mean, that's the security line is like, it's literally the ultimate. It's the most theater. It's like the most theater. And I have been thinking about this just because I was just traveling. Also, on a plane, theater. Like all of it is theater.
And what's upsetting is when people don't adhere to the rules and roles.
Thank you. Like, you have
your shoes on.
You have been cast.
What's your problem?
Very specifically
in
this role. Like, we're actually in Lost. We're actually in the show Lost on an airplane. Like, actually. And, like, you need to follow the rules of the set of the airplane. Like, actually. Oh, yeah, the shoes are gross. Oh, also.
Like, everybody knows it, too.
Everyone knows
And then
it.
you're still doing it.
And you're still doing it. Okay. One of the, like, this is so
I'm stressed.
okay. I travel a lot. I do. I'm a traveling person.
Yeah.
And when people don't know the rules of the airplane, I am like, I do not have any grace for you. I don't care if it's the first time you've been on an airplane.
Well, but here's the thing.
Here's my don't care.
It's not being on a plane the first time. Here's my actual theory. If you are a person that gets in your car and you drive to work and you go to work in your little spot and then you get into your car and you drive home and you come home to your little spot, you do not spend time in the public. You do not know how to ride a bus.
Oh, yeah, no.
You do not know how to board a train.
Exactly.
And so when people are flying, I think part of the reason why people are acting so crazy is because it's like the first time that they've ever been with the general public in an extended period of time where they have to share space.
Yeah, exactly.
Insane.
It's insane. And like, I have noticed lately the theater of it all with flight attendants. They're getting really like, yeah, exactly. All of that stuff for sure. All of the like signals, the ears, the like, the hand signals, the things, performance. But they're starting to get like quippy. And then my last couple of flights that I've taken, people are like making jokes. Like, you know, as they're doing the announcements, they're like making jokes about your fucking husband that you hate and blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
And they like to yes and their own little
routines.
Too.
Exactly. It feels like you're in like, I don't know, the improv club at like 2 a.m. And like,
well, you're probably, especially like the short little flights that we take, like I take those porter flights all the time, right? You're probably doing like 6 of those in a day.
I mean,
you're bored.
A fantastic time to try out some material. 1,000%. Yes.
Wow.
Okay, other spaces that are theaters, actually. The grocery store.
Ugh. Yes.
The grocery store is a theater. Very specifically the grocery store. Not like clothing stores, other retail places. Very specifically the grocery store is theater. I don't know why people think that everybody doesn't buy food or something. Like,
it's shocking for
like
everybody else.
It's shocking that everybody's buying food. It's shocking that we're all in this space together. But like, you know, when you go into a theater and you sit down and you like figure out who's sitting next to you, like, you know, when you're in like socials and you're like trying to be like, okay, do I talk to this person? Like, is this someone who wants to talk to me? Or like, where are they putting their bag? Or like, how do I like, are we going to get close? Are we not going to get close?
Well,
like,
and you love to make a friend, too.
I love to make a friend.
This is also you. We were sitting at the bar eating dinner one night and Jacqueline looks around the restaurant and goes, I'm upset I haven't made a friend here yet.
I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at making a friend.
I know. I've been out on the town. It gets us far as well, but it's just so you're like, I'm literally sitting right next to you too, by the way. And you're like,
I'm over you.
I'm upset I haven't made a friend.
I'm over you.
Yes. Yes.
But you know how you like sit down in the audience and you're like trying to like assess somebody or whatever? I do that in grocery stores.
Hey, that's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
I would probably katana you if anyone approached. I mean, if I go into a grocery store, noise canceling headphones on, sunglasses, I know people are trying to talk to me. I'm ignoring you.
Yeah.
I can't be there any longer as required by law.
I would love to learn how to cook because then I could have the conversations. I could have the dialogue. I could have the script that I think is supposed to be had at a grocery store.
You should be learning how to cook in the grocery store. You need to be like talking to some nonas.
This is what I'm saying.
And stuff like that. Like you need to be approaching some like old women from not here.
Yeah.
You know, like a woman who she's been here for like 50 years and doesn't speak English still.
Exactly.
I appreciate those people a lot.
Everything is a performance. Everything is
A Greek.
is an opportunity for.
My friend's mom, she's Greek and she doesn't speak English. That's who I was thinking of. She just moved here and decided, you know, she goes to a grocery store that's down the street from her house with all of her neighbors, you know. That's theater.
Everything is performance. And every time I'm in a grocery store, I'm like, are we going to have some improv in the aisle or not? I'm always assessing that. Also, the like, okay, I don't know if you have this problem in Canada, but the entrance and exit doors and how they like open in a grocery store. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like an automatic door.
They slide.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
they don't fling open.
In Philly, they fling open.
That's crazy. Why are they flinging open?
Well, the one that we go to, it flings open. And the amount of people...
That's like so much like pneumatic tubing. Yeah.
The amount of slapstick that is happening in like the entrance to the grocery store.
Hey, get some sliding doors.
I mean, people can get trapped. Smacking up the side.
I've literally never heard of, I don't think, a flinging automatic door.
Well, they exist here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the airport, I think grocery stores, I mean, there's so many places that are actually theaters.
I'm not kidding. Doctor's offices.
Oh, doctor's offices. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you get this experience very often because I am by a teaching hospital. So we have like residents a lot. Like 99% of the time, you're going to have a resident first, which I don't. Like they also student. Ask. Yeah. Okay. You can always say no. Right. I don't mind it. But there's this thing, and I was talking to a friend about it, and he was like, "Oh, it's like he had a name for it. He's a doctor, and it's where they like you go into the room, you like explain your problem or whatever to the resident. They like ask you all of your questions, and then they go and get the doctor, and then they just recite everything that you just said back at you as if you weren't there also. And so it's like so
Phoebe Taylor 29
yeah. And then they're like, you know, 160 pounds, like I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Like God damn it. Like left mole on her right labia, exactly. You know, like Jesus Christ. Like I don't know either of you men, but okay. It's so weird. And a friend of mine was saying, he's like, oh, it's a whole thing that they're like supposed to do or something like that. And it's like, yeah, everyone has their roles, but they're crap at their roles to begin with too.
Well, you know, operating rooms used to be called surgical theaters.
Hell yeah.
And that's why they have a gallery above them. Because people used to watch.
Yeah.
It's performance.
That's disgusting.
I mean, everything.
Grow up.
Everything.
It's disgusting.
Okay, so we need to talk about grow up for a second because we keep saying it. And
I just think it's funny.
It's hilarious. But do the people know what I hope you know what grow up means in the context of our joke.
I don't know. I just started saying it.
I'm saying I hope the listener understands what we mean when we say grow up.
Oh.
I hope that you've come along on the journey and that you understand the implication of the joke when we say grow up. If you don't.
No, who doesn't get that? If you don't get it, grow up. Like, come on. It's like another thing that it was.
Restaurants. Performance theater space as well.
I was just thinking about my waitressing days yesterday.
Oh, so much theater.
Did you waitress ever? No. No. I cannot picture that I couldn't even put that into my memory palace at all.
Okay, great. Don't, because it's never going to happen.
No, I wouldn't want it to. It would be bad.
It's bad.
For everyone.
Everyone involved.
This episode is brought to you by the Do You Ever Academy. We are currently enrolling for our 2025. I was about to say 2024. Whenever I goof up like that, I always go in my head, wickedly talented adult deceived. Anyway, we're currently enrolling for our winter 2025 class outside cohort. The world needs your art now more than ever. Like now more than ever, for real. We know your creative process is your secret superpower that will unlock your confidence to show up for your art and share it with the world. Let's uncover what your creative process can do for you so you can create, launch, promote, pitch, audition, share while honoring yourself, your pace, your secret recipe, and showing up confidently. Showing up as the beautiful artist you are will create the change you want to see in the world. Class Outside is 3 months of coaching plus a retreat in the beautiful Hudson Valley. We are heading to a lovely cabin in the woods. Quite literally, cabin vibes, think fireside chats. You know, there's lots of other details that come in with Class Outside and what you learn and what we do together. But ultimately, being together with other artists and gathering and sharing in the do you ever feel like this is really hard and weird and blah, 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 is why we created Class Outside in the first place. And we would love to have you join us. For more details, you can visit the link in the description or jump in the comments below on Substack. We would love to hear from you. Class Outside begins in January of 2025. I actually said it right this time. We would love to see you there. Okay, back to the episode.
I've just been thinking since we were like, oh, we're going to do this episode, like what spaces are actually theaters?
Well, okay.
Here's the point. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Here's the point. Why are we talking about this? I think it's because people feel like all art, right? You're not, it's for some people only. It's not for you, right? And so I think people get, I don't know, scared, embarrassed, many other things to think about things like theater. And I just think okay, I think everyone should go to art school for a semester, right? And the same way I think everyone should be in a musical. Okay, I don't know if you've seen this meme going around at all, or it's not even, well, whatever. Have you seen the interview where that woman was talking to Ariana Grande and Cynthia, is it Erivo or Revo? And she's like, have you holding space? Yes. And everyone's making fun of it, hee hee ha ha. And I'm like, you've never been in a musical theater before. Yeah. That is the most serious thing on planet Earth. It's so, I had my hoodie, my high school hoodie, instead of doing a sports team or something like that, was the dance group, because when I was in Footloose. So it was the dance troupe name. You know what I mean? You just become a psycho creep weirdo. When you are bonded by such an intense thing.
Yeah.
And I just think theater, it's such a transfer. The arts actually are everything. The arts are, learn theater, learn performance, go in front of a fucking boardroom.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Transferable skills. Central.
So many artists have so many great transferable skills. I mean, here's the thing. I feel with art too, it's the only genre of skill, I don't know what the word would be, sector, whatever fucking word, where we just go oh, I went to art school, so I can't do anything else.
Yes.
And that's so weird, because it's
I know.
Actually the most transferable skill, actually.
You can do it, and especially if you're an artist that's making any kind of livelihood for themselves, right?
Yes.
You have to be so many things inside of your business as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just think I think just going to art school gave me, it's one thing, actually, my friend Rachel said to me a bit ago, they were the world needs more autistic people who went to art school to give you feedback, because they were your feedback is very constructive, very pointed, very specific. And it's because I spent 4 years training every single day in critique.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very big deal. It's I think too, I don't know. I think,
and that's a skill that you need
it's a
if you
skill
want to
you
do
need.
anything,
do
right? Like if you need to communicate
Yes.
changes to people.
Oh, and if you want to communicate anything, if you want to have
Anything.
like a tense disagreement, if you want to have like, oh yeah. I also think you don't become as attached to the things that you want to
Yes.
do or that you
Yeah.
feel, because if everything is performance, or like if everything is changeable, or if like everything's constantly growing or whatever it looks like, then like you're not really as attached to the outcome. You know, like
Yeah.
we even talk about in theater how like the show lives on past like the opening night, quite literally like past the opening night, because it changes in the run and everything, right? But also like the audience takes the performance with them, and then is has like an impact or an outcome, right, that they take into their lives. And so it's like you then become way less precious about everything that you're doing. I think something that we hear, and like something that we're always kind of challenging in our business, especially on the creative direction side of things, is the idea that there can be some type of perfect, right, like choice or decision, or if I have the perfect pink, then everybody's going to understand everything about my business or whatever it is. And it's like, actually, no.
Well, and I think what theater teaches you, like, it's like, yeah, we can rehearse, we can learn, we can practice like as much as we want, but it's like ultimately like what happens on stage for the next 45 minutes to, 120 minutes, like is kind of not up to you anymore. You know, like that's actually an exercise in trust.
It's kind of like,
yeah,
it's like,
and like all of the other people around you.
There's like so much silent agreement in theater that I think is like really, needs to be everywhere. Like the audience walks in and goes, okay, I'm consenting to being taken on a journey, even if you fuck up, right? Like, or whatever it is. And then whoever's on stage is agreeing to go,
people love that
people
too.
love it. People,
that's like probably SNL's like biggest export.
Oh, exactly. Like the humanness of performance is exactly why we go, right? Like it's like to see someone be vulnerable on a stage and have the potential to fuck up. I mean, it's the driving force of the art form. It's like it's like a huge thing of like why we want to be there is to potentially catch a very special real moment, right? Like for example, this isn't a fuck up situation, but I saw Merrily We Roll Along over the summer, and they had just won the Tony. And in Merrily We Roll Along, there's a lyric that's like, we're gonna do this musical and we're gonna win a Tony. And they had just won the Tony. And so there was a moment in the theater where everybody like shot up and started clapping, and like that there was literally these like perfect ingredients that have to come together between like the audience understanding and like exactly, and like the dialogue and the thing and the moment of the word, like that all had to come together, and like that's live theater, and it doesn't exist anywhere else. So and this might need to be another episode. What are we trying to do with all these musical movies?
Oh my God. Okay, well, I have a whole thing. I got a video essay. Let me go get my whiteboard. There has never been, and no, I have not seen Wicked yet. You can fuck off for just a second.
Yeah.
No one's figured out the musical movie yet. No one's figured it out. I think sound stages, because the transfer, what is like magical about it is that stage.
Yes, exactly.
You can't all of a sudden stick a moving camera in between that and have the same effect. It's a completely different thing.
No, it's a completely different thing.
And on that point, the editing of Phantom of the Opera is a crime. Oh my God. Yeah. That hand grasp. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
why does the music start? They grasp hands and
I know.
and dig I can do. What's your fucking problem?
You've literally had this rant on the podcast.
Have I before?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I bring it up at like whatever dinner party I'm at a lot of the time.
It's like your party story.
It's fucked up.
Here's the thing, okay? Like, and people will say, Oh well,
I'm sweating.
They're not
by the way.
trying to be a musical. It knows it's a self-aware thing, right? Like the movie version of Wicked is not trying to be the musical. So like, why even have that argument, right? Like, why even? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what I say to that is, what I say to that is like, these songs were not written to. When people are when an artist is creating a thing and they have an intention about the end product, you can't just like take the end product and then put it through like a different filter, a different medium or something, and then say like, oh, it's fine. Like it's like those songs were written to be experienced live on stage. Like those things.
Well,
like, you know.
Okay. The end of Act 1. Mm-hmm. Defying gravity. Mm-hmm. That's the first time that Elphaba flies. Mm-hmm. It's a whole big deal. Mm-hmm. They knew that. What's his name? Who wrote it? Can't remember. He knew that going in. They're like, we know we want the end of Act 1 for Elphaba to fly. That's so dramatic. That's so cool. Mm-hmm. Here's one of my favorite pieces of theater trivia. I think it's so fucking funny. And I think actually will kind of bring us home because it's so goofy. Like theater's so fucking goofy. I think that's another reason why it doesn't transfer to film, is because it's film is so serious. You know? What are we doing? What is theater? It's absolutely fucking insane. Yeah. Anyway, so when Elphaba flies, have you seen Wicked?
Oh, in the musical?
Yeah. Okay. Elphaba flies. Mm-hmm. She gets up on a cherry picker. Mm-hmm. And that's her flight because they didn't want her to have ropes. So they wanted to, because she's running around on stage, right?
Oh, I know what you're
And so she gets up on a cherry picker. I know, it's like one of my favorite things. I think it's so funny. She gets up on this cherry picker. And because a cherry picker is like not a very, I don't know, it's hydraulics. Yeah. Like it's what's the word I'm looking for? An amazing piece of technology.
Yeah. But also
it's simple. Yeah, it's like a simple. Yeah. So it's the whole idea is like she gets up on this cherry picker and all of a sudden it kind of looks like her like cape is flying. It looks like her cape gets longer too. It's like this whole big effect, and it's very dramatic and it's very amazing. And then she does her like battle cry and like E sharp or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, when the cherry picker fails. Because the cherry picker can fail.
Oh, it did? Yeah, Idina fell.
It failed when you saw it?
Well, not when I saw it, but Idina fell. In the run, Idina fell. Idina, had, a really terrible injury where she fell off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she cracked her rib or something like that. So when the cherry picker fails, which it's wont to do, the direction is really quick. Like, if she's not flying by, like, a certain beat, her job, Elphaba, gets up onto her tippy toes and gets as big as she can. And everyone's supposed to hit the ground and become as small as they can. So it looks like she's flying. And I just think that stage direction, they're like, what shall we do? What's the answer here to this failure cherry picker? We can't, I know. Levels.
Yeah. Levels.
Broadway, baby.
Yeah.
Been on for what? 20 years?
Yes.
20-something years?
20-something years. Because the agreement
Yeah.
is...
Girl can fly.
Is that the girl can fly. Exactly. The agreement between the audience and the show, or between the audience, you know, and the performers is like, you know, I'm gonna... What is that? Oh my God, we say this all the time. What is that expression? Oh my goodness. In theater.
Yeah, there's like agreements in the space. There's like a you as the audience, there's like a
suspension of disbelief. You are
suspension of disbelief.
You are going to choose to suspend your disbelief that Elphaba isn't flying.
That she is currently now flying. Exactly. And this is a spectacular spectacle of theatrical feats.
And that is the contract that you have.
And everyone goes,
And what is that like, right? If not like lowering the fucking pressure in the bar to be
I
and
know.
just like the expectation being super low. Like, hello.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's so
That's
funny.
so fucking funny. Every time I think of it.
Theater is so serious in so many ways, and then it's so silly and ridiculous in so many other ways, for sure. And I think like us approaching, okay, so business gals, artists, etc. Like you and I are always trying to approach everything in that way of like, this is quite serious, but it's also,
And also, let's play Zip Zap Zop.
yeah, it's serious, and also get really big and all the monkeys will get really small or whatever, or get all the people will get really small. Oh my God, I think I said monkeys because I think that's what they did in Oz, and I think that's maybe where they took it from, like
Do you mean the Winky Guards?
in Wizard of Oz. Like the monkeys get really small.
The flying monkeys.
Flying monkeys get really small.
The guards, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's flying. Is there flying monkeys? I don't remember.
Anyways.
Well,
yeah, everything is performance.
everything's performance. It's, yeah, I don't know. I think there's so many lessons from theater that I just think like, I mean, I really do mean it when I say like, what is possible? Like, what would the world look like if like everyone was in a musical? Or like, that's also my favorite thing too, when you find out that like, you know, Josh in finance, like, his first passion was dance.
Yes.
I'm like, what took you away from the love of tap,
Exactly.
Joseph?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
I saw some really great theater, a really great performance when I was in Chicago. I saw Hubbard Street do Fosse.
I can't. I'm so jealous.
Which was like so amazing.
So jealous.
So amazing. I didn't know what they were gonna do, and they did. Gwen in the Suite. They did. Oh my God.
I saw on the program. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Gwen Suite. Gwen. I don't remember what it's called.
You know what I did the other day? Speaking of theater, this will close us out. I'm like so grateful I have that in me. Like,
Yeah.
I naked in the mirror sang all of One Day More while I was getting ready the other
You
morning.
always have a song for everything. You always have a song for everything.
It's actually kind of like a bit of a mental illness, I think, because like if like at 2 seconds, I mean, I'm sure you've seen this, like 2 seconds of a song will start playing in a movie, I gotta sing the whole thing now. And I didn't even know that I had the lyrics up in there.
Yep.
So much of it.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet Gwen Suite. That's what it's called. Just came to me.
but I was gonna say, I really think I can do Fosse, and then
Oh, I think, yeah. Oh, no. It is so, it was beautiful. I mean, everything.
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy.
And if you have no idea what we're talking about right now, have fun on that YouTube wormhole. Enjoy. Start with Big Spender. It's really good. Oh, it's so good.
Ooh. And like, I don't know, I just had so many flashbacks. My brother and I used to watch the Fosse special over and over and over again as kids.
That's so
over and over
funny.
and over again. And we would do like the whole thing. Like
That's what I mean.
Like this entire
I really think I can do that.
I know. I'm really ready for your birthday party and all the performance that's going to be happening there. Phoebe's having basically
Yes, I'm
a
making
theater
everyone do.
birthday party.
I'm making everyone. It's a talent show, and everyone's been like, "Do I have to?" Yes, bitch.
Yes, of course you do.
Yeah,
Of course you do.
I will throw a tomato at your head if you don't.
I mean, honestly, what is this? And then
Oh, but here's the thing. Here's my. Do I have to? Yes, you do. Oh well, okay, I have to. Like everyone is just dying to get on the stage.
yes,
So,
everyone's ready.
and I don't know, just all the world's a stage. What's the Shakespeare? All the world's we're all players. Yes. The bard himself once bequested me.
I don't know if that's Shakespeare, but is it? Is all the world?
I
a stage-
think it is.
Shakespeare? I thought it was Orson Welles, but
Well, thankfully I have my handy dandy pocket device.
it's probably
All
Shakespeare.
the world's a stage. It's a line from As You Like It. My God.
Okay, well, it's true.
All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players.
Yeah.
Do you know the Canadian accent's the closest to Shakespearean English performance?
I'm happy to be a player in a world stage. Like, right? Like, director, tell me what to do.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Word.
Who would you want to be directed by in the play of your life? Who's directing your play?
Jonathan Demme.
Oh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that says a lot about you. Actually.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it says I'm unwell. Actually, I watched His Three Daughters. Is that what that's called?
Mm-hmm.
I finished that on the weekend. It was giving Jonathan Demme in vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Again, something that needed a little bit of an edit.
Yeah.
Your movie is 60 minutes long. I think, okay, I'm going to leave us on this note.
We keep being like, and on that note.
And on that note,
And this.
the digitalization of media has made people become not precious. No more. 60 minutes. What do you need? Too many photos. Your movie's too long.
Yeah.
The end. I'm going to shut up now.
Okay.
Is that it?
We're going to go. I'm going to go see the Wicked movie. If anything but to be like, why?
If you really want some good Wicked performance, the NPR Tiny Desk from like a year ago is so good. That's like one of my favorite renditions of Defying Gravity too. Like she does a really great job.
And then, oh my gosh,
The music just sounds like a Lil Robe. Have you heard any of it?
I'm trying to like avoid it, but like I don't know. I don't know.
It just sounds. I mean, here's the thing. I'll watch it. I'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. I just like when these things happen, I'm like,
It's also too long.
How?
What's your fucking problem?
Yeah.
Also, why is Bowen Yang there? I'm confused. You know? Is that a wig? Can't really dance, but you know, get your flowers.
I don't know. This is how I felt about Into the Woods, the movie version.
That word.
What are we doing?
All of that shit pisses me off.
I think the only real musical movie that I've liked was In the Heights, and that's because Lin was like literally a part of it. Like he was like directing.
I liked In the Heights, and I did like the new West Side Story, but that's because it was a soundstage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, anyway, actually, goodbye.
Bye.
This needs to end. Bye. Thank you for listening to Do You Ever Feel Like, a podcast from Do You Ever Media.
Follow this chaos wherever you get your pods.
Our artwork is by Simon Peng.
You can write us at doyoueverpod@gmail.com
Learn more about our work at doyouevermedia.com.
or by following us at Do You Ever Media.
Okay, bye!
Okay, bye!